Lawn Mower Pro and attached it on the body part.
Correct.
Yep. Okay, let's flip it over.
Let's do it. Alrighty. So, so these are the mulching blades. So just be careful. These guys are pretty sharp. But so they have kind of a fan design to them to create lift and at the same time to mulch the grass, right? So the idea is that they're creating an updraft and that's catching the clippings so they can cut the grass multiple times before it falls back down. You can see here we widened the deck a lot as well to open up this area a large amount. We also opened up this area so we don't have to worry about grass sticking here. The other thing that's on here is if you take these two bolts off, you can actually put a spacer on here. So you can put a spacer, you'll lose about you'll lose 0.4 inches on the height, right? So instead of going 4 inches high, you'll go down to 3.6, but that will allow you to cut down to 0.08 inches, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing is, of course, we also have the razor blades. So there are plenty of instances where people are just more comfortable with the traditional razor blades for one reason or another. So you have the option of using both. And on the commercial setting, you might have situations where you want to use the razor blades or you want to use the blades, and to have them interchangeable is a really good value. So, so that's very, very important.
Yeah, I think another thing about the thickness of the razor blades cutting disc, because it looks very strong, at least from my side, it looks very strong and tough that it's not going to get easily broken. If you tickle it, you're hitting it.
Yeah, correct. So I know the team has done a ton of testing on the disc design. And I know we have new discs coming out for the original lawnmower as well that are much, much, much more durable. And so, yeah, I've seen videos where they've taken this and run it over bricks and the discs survived, which was pretty amazing to me. So we spent a lot of time optimizing that as well. Very, very important. But yeah, this is kind of the heart and soul of it. And what you can't see is underneath here, the internal structure has been beefed up and reinforced a ton, right? So that way, if the blades do hit something, you're not going to rip apart the internal structure. So that had to go under a redesign, a complete redesign, to be able to support this new blade system. So the internal structure is beefed up a ton. It does have over volt protection, but as a secondary measure, we just made everything pro grade, so to speak. So that's really, really important.
Yeah. This looks really sharp. Is this part also changing? Because I think it might change a little bit.
Correct. So yeah, you can actually see this bows out a little bit. So we really tried to open this space up to get the blades to really have room to spin up, and so that as they're cutting, you don't have to worry about grass getting stuck in here. Same thing, you can see these inlets. That's the same deal as well.
Yeah, I think one of the most biggest complaint for all the robotic mowers is how often do they have to clear the mowing deck underneath, using the water pumps, water gun to clear it, or use your hand, because as you cut more and more often, and especially if you're cutting under the wet weather, like let's say you're cutting in the early morning, it doesn't even have to rain, it's just very moisture.
Yep.
And then there will be a lot of grass stuck here, right here, right? And then it stops you from spinning.
Correct. And I mean, no matter what brand, you can obviously get grass stuck in there, mainly because the disc itself, right? Since they only have the little razor blades to try and clear the grass off, grass starts sitting on the top of it, right? And so it just spins around there, but when it's wet, it just sticks to it like glue. And so that's a big struggle. Again, not for everybody, because there's plenty of people out there that are in regions that don't have to cut in wet grass. But for people that do, it's very frustrating. In our own testing, I mean, if you have to cut in wet grass, it is not a fun thing. Even if it's autonomous, you have to tend more time to it, right? You have to spend more time in maintenance cleaning it out. The blades aren't going to last as long, with the razor blades. So, so this is, kind of a unique offering for the average consumer that has a well manicured lawn. the current module is fine, right? It's going to go out, it's going to maintain your lawn, with the idea of cutting, you know, at least twice a week. Most cut every day or every other day. If you really want to cut low, or if you want to cut less often, or if you need to cut in the rain, or again, some of these really challenging species of grass, or commercial applications, solar farms, you know, golf courses, those types of things, then the Pro could potentially be a better fit, right? Same thing if you need to take off more lawn, cut less often, or just take off, you know, more height of lawn at a time, right? So again, solar farms, they don't necessarily care about the quality of the lawn, but they want to be able to take off, say, a foot at a time, right? That 12-inch mark we talked about before at one time and keep the vegetation down. That's the sole purpose.
Yeah.
So the Pro module is really designed for instances like that. And again, if you live in a big area like the Midwest where maybe you don't have a completely manicured lawn, maybe a lot of it is, you know, weeds and just wild areas where you let just kind of nature take its place or take its course, then that's going to propose or present a struggle for any robotic lawnmower with razor blades, right? So this is a good alternative for that.
Yeah, I think another place where you have a lot of trees and they will have tree branches, you know, little sticks under the grass, and for the razor blades, it might have some chance to get stuck, right?
Really good point. Yeah, razor blade. Yeah, for those applications, yes. Leaves. You know, we have a blower, and you can tow a leaf sweeper with Yarbo, but if you'd rather mulch them because that's your thing, I personally don't do that. But if you prefer that, then straight blades are the way to go, right? You're just never going to be able to mulch them with razor blade discs. It's just not gonna happen.
Because myself, I've been testing a lot of robotic mowers, and one of the troubles I faced before is if I'm using the razor blades to cut underneath the trees, and I see a lot of leaves and branches and sticks, and sometimes it needs to go on different bumps and hills, you know, if you have the tree roots underneath. And then if you try to cutting low, the cutting disc will face some of the obstacles and then either get stuck or get broken. None of them you want to face it because it will take you some time to try to fix the issues and switch the blades, stuff like that.
Absolutely. And that's not a problem uniquely to us, right? If you have any type of plastic disc-driven mower, you're going to run up to that because they're really maintainers, right? They're not made to be put in those situations day in and day out. So.
Okay. Good. But maybe just one additional question, because you know, even if for me, I already knew this product, but I still have, you know, a lot of curiosity out of it. Is it easy to, let's say, take it off and switch to another one? Because if it takes me more than 10 minutes,
Correct. It really depends on your situation, right? So we tried to come up with now 2 lawnmowers, right? A more to lower the current price of the one we have now because you know we're scaling up, right, in manufacturing, and we were able to offer it at a lower price. And then we have our premium offering, which is the Pro. And so if that, you know, we've kind of gone over the use cases with that. If you feel that fits your need, or you just want the best thing out there that we have to offer, you know, the Pro is a good fit that way too, but it really is unique for everybody, right? So we want to give people options.
Yes, yes, that's nice. Okay.
So before we go to the Q&A section, we're gonna have a race session, like
yeah, we can do it a break for 5 minutes. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, thank you for watching. We're gonna do a quick break for 5 minutes and then go to the Q&A section to answer all the questions you guys have already asked. We will collect all those questions and answer all those things, and then we will announce the winner, right?
Is this video staying live while we collect questions?
I would think so, right?
Yeah, but we're going to turn off the audio.
We're going to turn off the audio?
Okay. All right, guys, just give us 5 minutes and we will circle back.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, so thank you guys for the waiting.
Yeah, little less than 5 minutes, but one thing we want to do is, because we had problems in the beginning of the stream, very, very quickly, we're not going to make you guys wait, but very, very quickly, maybe 2-3 minutes, let's just do a quick rundown of the feature set for the Lawn Mower Pro, and then we'll jump into the questions and answers.
Yeah, sure, because there are some people from YouTube and Facebook channels who have not watched the beginning.
If you want to take an inch off the grass, a third of the grass, just like you would with a traditional lawnmower, you can do that, right? But you're not going to be able to do that with a lawnmower that's designed, or an autonomous lawnmower that's designed to just maintain the grass. So, so there's a lot of benefits there. Let's jump to the next slide. So a wider range of cutting height. So cuts warm season grass, not just warm season grass, but it can cut grass as low as 0.8 inches with a 2 millimeter spacer. So what that means is basically our current version goes up to 4 inches, but goes down to 1.2. This can go down another 0.4 inches down to 0.8. And so that's a big deal because, as you said before, certain species of grass has to be cut very low. And also this has more applications, right? So not just warm season grass, but golf courses, things like that, where you want to get super low.
Yeah, because personally I've been to a lot of countries for Yarbo business, and we do have a lot of use cases where you need to set up the cutting heights to under like 20 to 25 millimeters, which is super low. And a lot of the troubles that they're facing is they cannot find a good model that can provide such a low cutting height and with strong enough power to get over the resistance when they're cutting low, because you will face the root part of the grass.
Right.
For example, like I'm seeing Kikuyu, buffalo, and St. Augustine grass in Australia, New Zealand, that part of Florida. That will be a big challenge. Most of the brands will tell you no, because it's designed for maintenance purpose, not for cutting huge height of the grass like a weed this much long. But this is the special thing for Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro, because we should be able to do that, right?
We can do that, yeah. But one thing you want to kind of keep in mind is that if you go off the traditional autonomous lawnmower, they're using the razor blade. So we always use the term micro mulching, right? Taking like a millimeter or two off the grass at any given time. With Yarbo's regular lawnmower, you could take more off, right, than a couple of millimeters, but still you're essentially maintaining things.
Right.
So when it comes to the straight blades, you can absolutely apply by the rule of thirds. So if you have 4-inch high grass and you take off a third, you're taking off an inch, right? You don't typically want to take more than that off, because even if we can do that cleanly, you'll damage the grass. But like you had said, if you have a big property and you don't really care about the cut quality, but you want to take the vegetation down, right? Then yeah, you can tackle those overgrown areas for sure that are a foot higher. So if let's say you have grass that's 14 inches high and you set it to 4 inches, you can go chop that foot off without a problem. Chop the foot of grass off, not your foot, but yeah. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So efficient blade, fence design, resists clogging in wet or dense grass. So as we mentioned before, and again, we'll try and keep this quick, but if you're in a region that has a wet season, and it's just constantly, the lawn is filled with moisture. A lot of times you have to wait to cut, and by the time you wait, now your grass is too overgrown, right? For a traditional robotic lawnmower to handle.
Yeah, I think for the time matters. Like a lot of time you want to wait until, let's say, 10 a.m. in the morning or 11 a.m. The reason why you don't want to cut from, let's say, 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. is because the moisture, right? So I think for this Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro, you should be able to start the lawnmower cutting as long as there's...
You can start it. You can also wait 5 days if that's your prerogative until it stops raining, and cut it when it's dry, but you have higher grass, right? Which again, you typically can't do with an autonomous razor blade.
So overall, it gives you a more flexible schedule when you come to cut the grass.
Absolutely. And of course, if you want to send it out more often, just like you would with a traditional lawnmower, you can do that too. If you always want that well manicured look every day, there's no harm in doing that. So you kind of get the best of all scenarios. Let's jump to the next one.
We have run through all the features, so right now it's going to be Q&A section.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so let's go to the Q&A section real quick. I think we have a document that have a lot of questions. It's in my cell phone.
All right.
So the first one is trade-in program.
Yeah, so there's no trade-in program. So we do have a discount.
I know a lot of you guys who are watching it right now are already Yarbo users who have the current version of the Yarbo Core and the Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro. We currently don't have any trade-in program for the current version of the lawnmower, but we do offer a special discount for all the existing users with additional $200 off based on all the pricing and promotions we have already unveiled. That means you're going to receive, or you have already received an email for the coupon, which is applied for your personal account that used to purchase the previous Yarbo. So if you use that Yarbo account, log in to our official website and try to purchase that new Lawn Mower Pro, you will get $200 off additionally based on all the current pre-order price. And this will apply for a long time, so it's not only for now but also for the future. You will always get $200 off, no matter what kind of activities or promotions we're doing, because for the existing users, we'd love them to having a new Lawn Mower Pro module just for more use cases.
Yeah, correct. And again, if it suits your need, right? If you're happy with the current version, it's also important to note that the sensors, the cameras, the ultrasonic sensors, the bumper, they're shared across both versions, right? So the biggest differentiator with this is more powerful blades and a different blade design type. Again, if you need that. There's plenty of people out there that that don't need it and maybe don't want straight blades for one reason or another, right? So, and on the trade-in program, we've done trade-ins for as long as we really could as a company, right? It's not feasible to keep offering trade-in programs, but the other thing is, the other option that they have is to sell their current lawnmower, right, module, and then obviously take that money and put it towards, just like if you had a new phone or something like that. Alrighty, so let's want to do the next question.
Yeah.
Oh, so someone's, so my question is, how much more do the new motors affect the battery life? So I think we touched upon this, but if you're using Yarbo often and you're taking maybe an inch off the lawn or something like that, like you would with a traditional lawnmower, then you're not going to affect the battery power that much, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to use the full wattage. But if you're taking off higher lawn, then you're going to impact the battery life. How much really depends on how much you're cutting. So, you know, we say 10 inches, so maybe that brings you to 5 acres, but the flip side to that is it really just depends. It's all relative, right? To how much more you're actually cutting and how much stress you're putting on the lawnmower. And that actually even holds true to the current lawnmower module. So can you do 6.2 acres? Yeah. Can you even do a little more than that? Yeah, probably, if you're not, you know, if you're cutting very often. So you're putting minimal stress on the mower. Sorry, the mowing motors. But again, we say it can do basically the same as the current lawnmower. Just keep in mind, the higher height of grass you're cutting, or the more you're taking off the grass at one time, right? The less you're going to use. The more you're going to use in battery power, the less capacity you're going to have.
Overall, it's just the Lawn Mower Pro just gives you a higher capacity, so you can use it for more extreme situations.
Correct.
Of course, it's going to consume more energy because of the watt is 300 watt.
If you put it in those extreme situations.
Yeah,
right?
if you put it to those extreme situations. But if you're still mowing exactly the same lawn that you used to have before, it should consume you exactly the same energy. That means it's still the same 6 acres of the capacity for the Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's see. How well is the mulching capability? The mulching capability is very good. So mulching has its limits, right? So you're not going to take a foot of grass off your lawn. Sorry, a foot of height off your lawn in one go and not have any thatch on the ground. That's kind of that would be a dream, but it's just not going to happen, right? But if you're cutting an inch or two, it mulches very, very good. You know, typical to a traditional lawnmower. So that's a really good question, but you just have to have realistic expectations, right? So if you're taking a foot off the ground and expecting to have no clippings on the ground, even a traditional lawnmower is not going to do that.
Right.
So can we use mulching blades on the existing mower? No. It's actually a different design. But there's multiple reasons for that. One of the other things we had mentioned before, if someone missed it, is that the internals of the lawnmower had to be beefed up significantly. So the metal structure.
Otherwise, you might have overcurrent issues if you're spinning those straight blades and you're facing some resistance when cutting the grass. Then the current motor may not be able to support.
Correct, and it goes further than that. That if you hit an object with these blades, although we have overall protection, that's going to send a pretty good shock through the system. You know, so
you don't want to do that.
Correct. So we had to really reinforce the metal structure inside of Yarbo. So there's a lot of work that was done there.
Right.
And I think that goes to the next question, which again, we get kind of some, I'll call them funny questions every now and again. So 229 for just upgrading motors and mulching blades. So that is not just upgrading mulching blades and upgraded motors, right? It's again, a completely reinforced structure on the inside. You can't just add more powerful motors and blades and think that it's going to operate exactly the same.
Yeah.
The whole internal structure had to be rethought. So that's really important.
Yes.
And that actually leads me to another question in here because it's related. How is damage to the motor or unit mower prevented with solid blades should it strike a hard immovable object? So again, a lot of that has to do with reinforcing the internal structure. So when you hit something with that mulching blade and you send a shock through the internal system to the motor, to the motor mount, to the housing, all of that has been reinforced to be able to take that hit.
Right.
And if we hit something, we know that we go into overvolt and we cut the power right to the blades.
Yes.
So that took a lot of testing. Let's see, what else do we have here? So
Yeah, actually, I think actually right now we have so many people watching it. So we have already got a lot of orders and people are waiting to get the final announcement for the winner. I know there's already a winner selected, but according to our team, we do want to get one more winner for the giveaway. So right now, I think we're jumping to the winner announcement part to announce the winner for that previous giveaway. And then we're doing another giveaway for another winner.
So we gave away 3?
Yep, giveaway number 3. So for all of you guys who are watching it right now.
For all the connectivity problems we had, we're trying to make it up to everybody. So, all right, let's do it.
So for all of you guys who are watching it right now, we're announcing a giveaway winner.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. ZL.
Actually, we almost sold out.
We're already sold out?
100 units.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Okay, let's go.
It's so popular, actually.
You know what? We're just gonna start talking about this again all over. But first of all, let's announce the winner for the giveaway.
Yeah,
and then we will start the process again. For those of you guys who wants to keep purchasing it, don't miss the chance because we're still giving you the giveaway and the pre-order price. So again, we're extending the pre-order event to more units. And stay here. You might also get a chance to win a free Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro. All right. So how do we get the winner?
Right now we have the username pop out at the screen. So
Okay.
I think maybe you're gonna count a number. And
I'll count a
I'm gonna
number.
Read out a username, or does you want to read out?
For 2 minutes later, we're gonna have a winner. Okay,
All right.
cool. So
All right.
maybe I'll just quickly ask answer more questions from Q&A.
Sure.
And do it again. So maybe my question, I actually have a question. So for this cutting blade, is it going to be more expensive? Because you mentioned it's enhanced version and it's stronger than the previous one, so it's going to be way more expensive. That kind of increased my maintenance cost for daily usage, or not really?
Not really.
Okay, so you guys are covering the cost for making it stronger?
Correct.
Oh, wow, that's
Correct.
nice. Okay, and the current version of the Yarbo core attached to the Lawn Mower Pro, right?
100%, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't need to buy a new
We don't have a new core for you to buy.
Oh, okay. Do you have any plan to make the core even better for the future, though?
We will make incremental upgrades for sure, but incremental, right? So
Okay.
we don't have anything planned yet to be revolutionary.
Okay.
The current core, one thing we wanted to make sure was that the hardware inside, the computing power, the cameras, can be maximized for as long as possible, right? So we have a lot of software updates planned, and as everybody knows, Yarbo's not without its fault, right? So that's important. No product is perfect, but we are hyper focused on updating the existing software in here to really maximize the value. So
Right.
Tone mode is coming, as we spoke about. A better version of VIO to work when there's not good GPS is coming, which I think will be really beneficial to a lot of people. So this core we intend to support for a long time, even if we make incremental upgrades. that's not something that's around the corner by any means.
Yeah.
So this is here to stay for a
Okay.
while.
One interesting thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, but what is this? Although I already know, but I'm going to have to ask the question for everybody.
So this is the Yarbo trimmer. So this is the world's first fully autonomous trimmer. And honestly, this is something that, this is one of my favorite things.
Okay.
Back when I was a Husqvarna dealer, one of the objections we got a lot was, and just with autonomous lawnmowers in general, was, hey, I still have to be out there trimming, right? So even if this does the bulk of it, I still have to walk around 6 acres of property or an acre of property or whatever it is with my trimmer. And so, it's not doing the entire job. So this is the trimmer we came up with, and originally, as a lot of people know, and if you didn't know, we originally had this attaching to the front of Yarbo, to the lawnmower module, but that design was actually scrapped because it just wasn't as versatile as this one. So this attaches to the back through what we call our back brace mount, and this has a swing arm on it. So you can set this up automatically. It'll go and trim a fence line around no-go zones, around your perimeter, and you can also tell it where not to trim. So if you have flower beds and things like that you don't want to trim against, it will shut down the trimmer when it gets to that part. But the nice part is this swing arm. So as it's going along the fence, we don't have to get Yarbo right up against the fence. We could still be, a couple of inches or a good margin away. And as we go around trees, this basically just rotates back and follows the contour of whatever those objects are we want to trim around, right? And so a lot of people, myself included, are trimmer challenged, I'll call them, right? So we try and use a trimmer and we get too close to the fence or we get too close to the tree and we gouge into it. Well, this freewheel actually stops this. This acts as a guard. And so this actually spins, allowing this trimmer to ride right along the fence lines or chain link fences or, tree trunks, things like that.
Right.
So, and the other really cool part is it has automatic line feeding. So that was another thing we knew we had to solve, is that while it's operating, if you're getting low on line, it has to be able to automatically release more line. So it's able to do that, which is really cool. And the other thing is safety. So if we see a person or an animal, where the lawnmower can go around people, if the trimmer is in operation, we'll pause it and we'll announce through our speakers that a person or an animal has been detected, and we'll shut down the trimmer temporarily until they, come out of view of the cameras. So we have cameras 360 degrees around, but you would need to be, 20 feet away in order for this to operate again.
Wow.
Just because we don't want to shoot whatever, weeds or pieces of lawn at people. So safety is paramount for
Wow,
this.
looks amazing, I have to say. Today we're in a trade show at Spogagafa, Germany, and a lot of people, once they see the trimmer, like, oh my God, I have never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
So right now, for you guys, everybody online, we're actually not only doing the pre-order campaign and promotions for the Lawn Mower Pro, we're also doing some special combo price for trimmer attachment as well. So if you go check our website, yarbo.com, you're going to be able to see the combo of Yarbo core with the lawnmower module and the trimmer attachment. So that's also a really good price. I'm not exactly sure how much is that, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the best deal we have in history.
Yeah, you and me both, actually. I don't do the pricing, so that's a great question.
Okay.
But you can see it on our website,
Cool,
obviously.
cool.
And I think that's one of the coolest parts about this, right? So Yarbo being modular is cool, right? But having one of the widest cutting decks, no matter what lawnmower you choose, is really neat, right? Having one of the highest cutting heights and the lowest cutting heights in the same module is pretty cool. So you don't have to pick a high cut model or a low cut model like a lot of autonomous lawnmowers out there, right? The modularity in the front, but also the back, opens up a ton of possibilities. So you can keep the lawnmower on and keep the trimmer on at the same time, right? And I can actually mow the lawn and trim at the same time, which is a pretty cool feature. So the versatility it allows is really unprecedented.
Okay, cool. So we need to make a final announcement for our winner for today.
Let's do it.
This is the winner we selected from thousands of the participants.
Okay.
So maybe let's tell the name, and we are going to show this name to the camera.
Right, so we had Sam, right, I think was the first right winner from Facebook, and now this is the first winner of the live, and then we're going to have another one.
Yep.
All right, so
The winner is...
So the winner is Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher, yeah, let's go, Jeff Fisher.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's show the name here. I cannot show the email because it's personal information, but Jeff Fisher, Jeff at the blah blah blah.com. Congratulations, Jeff. We will send you a brand new Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro module once we have them ready.
Cool.
All right, cool. So,
And again, just to reiterate, delivery starts in August.
yeah.
Cool.
So, for the rest of you guys, don't be disappointed because according to my team members, they've told me we have sold so many units in the past couple minutes. 100 units has already been sold out.
That's crazy.
What we do, we end up the live stream and say bye to you guys? No, that's not what we're gonna do. What we're actually gonna do is we started auto work again and we do another giveaway for those of you guys who did not win this prize. So we're going to put another link in the comment section and you guys please plug in your name and email. We're going to do this process again and select a winner just like Jeff.
Okay.
So another lucky guy, another lucky round, guys. Don't miss the chance. And we also open up another 100 units for you guys to do the pre-order. So if you're checking our official website right now, it says 100 units it's gone, but you still have a chance to get it because we would like to say really thank you for staying here.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate how you guys supported us.
And we really appreciate you guys holding with us through the connectivity issues.
Right.
Big time.
So, limited to the first 100 orders. We already had 100 order placed, but we're gonna do another 100. So 200 orders in total for today. All right, so let's go back to the first slides and kind of introduce the company very quick, and we introduce the features, and we go to the Q&A. Lastly, we select the winner again.
Let's do it.
Pretty much the progress again, process all over again.
All right, rinse and repeat. Let's go.
Yep.
All right, let's jump forward. Next slide.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, yeah, we don't have to go over the history part, I don't think. All right, go back. So again, for those that don't know, Yarbo is completely modular. Go back a slide, please. Thank you. Forward a slide. There we go. So again, we've been talking a lot about the Lawn Mower Module Pro, right? We mentioned the trimmer, but Yarbo started life with our autonomous snowblower. So again, we have a two-stage autonomous snowblower. And again, Yarbo is the world's first autonomous modular robot, with it being also the world's only autonomous snowblower, autonomous blower, leaf blower, and then obviously a class-leading lawnmower. And then we have our Pro. So let's jump forward. And while we're going through this, again, if anybody has questions, I know there's a lot of questions coming in, just send us your questions and we'll answer them again in a little bit. So real quick, the difference between our current lawnmower and our new Pro model is the Pro model has 300-watt motors. And even more important is it delivers up to 2,500 peak power for heavy-duty lawn mowing. And again, that's the challenging, situations that we talked about before, taking out really high grass, or cutting really low, or wet grass, right? All those things that require more power. So let's jump to the next one. So wider cutting height range. So again, our existing mower goes up to 4 inches down to 1.2. The Pro, as we discussed, can go up to the same 4 inches, but with a spacer that you can attach, it'll go down to 0.8 inches versus the 1.2 that the current lawnmower can do. A little more capable. Again, good for the warmer season grass we talked about.
Yep.
That needs to be kept lower.
Yeah, so personally, I have traveled to a lot of places around the world, like Australia, New Zealand, south part of the United States, like Florida, where people have the warm season grass in their house, and their name it's like Kikuyu, St. Augustine, and Buffalo. You know, those grass, they need to be cut short. They need to be maintained at within 2 to 3 centimeters, and they need to cut down to the root because you don't want those grass to grow too tall. And once it gets too tall, it loses the moisture, and it will not survive during the hot, dry summer. Is that the case?
Yep.
Yeah, so at those places, people are asking, is there a lawnmower solution, a robotic lawnmower solution that can help me cut my grass? Most of the time, their answer is, maybe, I don't know if my lawnmower can try it, but with the Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro module, we can definitely work on it because we have a 300-watt cutting motor and we have a wider cutting range. We can lower down the cutting height down to 2 centimeters or 0.8 inches, which is very low, pretty much top in the industry. And it's not only good for the warm season grass, but also for some commercial use applications, such as golf courses, sports fields, golf turf farms. Those places need to maintain the lawn at the really low height.
Yes.
And that's where Yarbo can make a big sell and big help for the place.
Definitely. Right, and so again, the mulching blades, that's really unique. This can be outfitted with either the razor blades, traditional discs, or the straight blades. And depending on your lawn, and even depending on what you're doing on your lawn, it's nice to be able to have the option to switch in between them, right? So suitable for cutting overgrown grass over 12 inches. So again, you can take 12 inches off at one time. If you do that, understand you're gonna leave some thatch there, right? Because you're cutting 12 inches at a time, you're not gonna completely mulch that. But if you're applying the rule of thirds, and you're even cutting once a week, then it does a really good job mulching. So that's something that's very unique.
Yeah, I think before, if I am an end user trying to select a robotic lawnmower, I might ask a very key question is, I have not mowed my lawn for a month or two. I'm waiting for a robotic solution because I don't want to do it again with my traditional gas-powered lawnmower. Can I just, literally put my robot there and let it work for 12 inches grass or 20 inches grass? Most of the time you don't want to do that.
You can't, but I will say this. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to have a serious conversation if you didn't cut your lawn for a month or a month and a half. Too long, right? But let's say you're in that situation. So maybe you cut it down with this, you take the blower, get rid of the thatch that's on top, and then you get your lawn in good standings and you use Yarbo to maintain it, right? And again, if you have that type of, wildflowers, weeds, that type of stuff that's thicker, that traditional robotic lawnmowers can't handle with razor blades. Yarbo is a great fit for that. We mentioned the other unique cases, solar farms, some of the commercial applications, where they want to cut less, right? Not as often. Straight mulching blades are great for that.
So a quick question actually, because we've been introducing this straight mulching blade for so long, and according to our knowledge, people had this on the traditional gas-powered lawnmower for a long time. Then when people are designing the robotic lawnmower solution, why do we have this kind of, razor blades rather than the straight mulching blade?
Why did they come out with that, do you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so part of it was actually just a limitation of power and the battery availability. So robotic lawnmowers started being introduced in like 1998, 99 in Europe, right? And the batteries weren't that great back then, right? They were expensive. They still are expensive. And the power for the motors, back then they weren't even brushless, right?
Oh, okay.
So you really needed something that didn't take a lot of power, which is something like this. And so you micro-mulched all the time. And that still has a lot of benefit, right? But now we're at a point where we can offer something like this. And again, it's not for everybody, the Pro model, but for those that want all of these various capabilities, it's a really nice thing to have in our product lineup to be able to offer that to people. And the other thing is, because Yarbo can do 6 acres, that's a very big yard, right? And a lot of our customers have big, expansive yards. And when you have big, expansive yards, you either really care about them and want to keep them meticulously maintained, or you have areas that you care about, that you meticulously maintain, and you have other areas that you kind of, I want to say let go, right? Where you don't really care about the quality of the lawn, but you need to keep the vegetation down. And so with razor blades, you really can't have the best of both worlds there. It will work fine on your manicured lawn, but when you try and take it to the more challenging grass and weeds, it's not going to handle it, right? So that's a really good fit.
Seems like it's a really good fit for me, honestly, because when I was in Long Island, New York, we had a house there, and I don't even want to cut the lawn, like, let's say every 2 weeks, because I'm just kind of too lazy. And all the robotic solutions, I mean, I still need to trim because there are a lot of fence and wasps, and they grow crazily high grass and weed. I have to trim it myself, and I don't want to do it because I got a busy job. And seems like Yarbo could be the choice because it can cut the grass with the Lawn Mower Pro, even if the grass are tall, and it can also trim to the edge.
Yep.
Right.
Hold on one second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking amongst ourselves a little too much. But actually, you spoke of Long Island. So, as you know, I'm from Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the temperature was today?
What was it?
I think it got up, well,
100?
102.
102.
102, but it said it felt like 110 with the humidity.
Damn.
So, you know, whether you have lawn that you have to cut really low, right? Or you have cool season grass, doesn't matter. But to have a robotic lawnmower that can go out there and maintain it, because I don't care if you love maintaining your lawn. I don't know of anyone that wants to sit on a ride-on lawnmower in 100-degree weather with the humidity we've had. Certainly not my thing, you know.
Not my thing either.
Yeah,
Me
so
either.
if you have a ride-on lawnmower and you're debating about a robotic lawnmower, you know, you need a Yarbo. If it's anything over an acre, a Yarbo is really a great replacement because it can do a lot of things that that a ride-on lawnmower can do, but autonomously, right? From the tow mode we spoke about and all that stuff.
Okay.
So, alrighty. So again, we'll go to this just really quick again, but we had to redo, right, this fence design as we call it. So to prevent obviously clogging in wet grass and dense conditions when we're trying to tackle these unique cases of really tall grass and things like that. Let's jump to the next one.
I think maybe it's best if we can showcase the underneath how it actually look like. You want to
Sure.
come over here so it's closer?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. So let everybody see what it actually looks like from the outside and the one underneath, so everybody will see the blades.
Alrighty. So again, this is the redesigned deck underneath. You can see here, these are the mulching blades we keep talking about. I'm just going to be careful when I spin them. And you brought up before, how do we take these off? We want to switch to the discs and razor blades, or we want to put the spacer on here to cut lower.
Yep.
So we take these two little Allen screws off right here, and we give you the tools to do that. And then you take off this bolt, this lock nut, and this is off. And that's all there is to it. And then you put either the replacement blades back on, or you put the cutting discs back on. So the other thing here, this is our reworked fence. So we really opened up this area to, one, allow the blades itself to create lift, and two, to minimize any grass buildup around this area. So especially cutting in wet conditions, that's really, really important. And then for people that want the razor blades, we have these here, and as you mentioned before, these are a lot more durable.
Right.
A lot more durable. So, I mean, any autonomous lawnmower, if you run it into rocks and things like that, these discs can get damaged, but we did a ton of work in strengthening these guys up. So that's really important. And there's certain cases where, you know, people want to be able to cut at 0.8 inches and want the razor blades even over the straight blades, because maybe they're just not comfortable with straight blades, right? Maybe they have kids, maybe they're new to robotic lawnmowers and they want to start off with the discs that are a little less intimidating, right? And not straight blades. And once they get used to it, convert over to the straight blades and the benefits of them. But it's nice to have both options, right?
Yeah, I think a really good application for the straight blades and the Lawn Mower Pro, it's where you have a yard with a lot of trees and you have leaves, you have tree branches falling down, and you have maybe pine cone, pine cones, and a lot of time robotic mower will either get stuck with those things, or it will break the disc. And everything you have to do it by yourself to fix the issues, and you have to come over there. But with this, it might be able to do it by itself, right?
Yeah, and as we were talking before, like the average power of a autonomous robotic lawnmower is 80 watts. So a lot of times you run over that pine cone, it's going to get jammed in the disc. It's not going to break the disc, but it's going to jam in the disc, and it's going to cause it to stop. And then with most autonomous robotic lawnmowers, you actually have to go out to the unit itself and physically reset it. And that can get very, very daunting and very old very quick, right?
Yep.
So to not have to do that is a big deal.
Okay.
So for sure.
Yeah. And internally, can we actually see the cutting motor, or we cannot see it?
I mean, you can see the bulk of the cutting motor here, so you'll notice it's a lot larger than the current one. Obviously a lot more powerful, but internally, behind this deck has been completely reworked. And again, the current setup for the current lawnmower is absolutely fine. We have minimal issues as far as the internal structure, but to support a system with straight blades like this, and the larger motors, we had to completely rework the inside to reinforce it.
Okay.
So that was a big deal.
Yeah. Looks really nice.
Alrighty.
All right. So, oh wow, we actually got information from the team saying that we only get 36 units left for
We
tonight's
only-
pre-order.
We only have 36 units left?
Yeah, so for
Okay.
tonight's pre-order campaign, we only got 36 units left because we have done 100 units completely sold out in like 10 minutes, and we have done another round of 100 units, but right now it's also sold out, most of them. So right now we only have 36 units left during the live stream, so you guys don't miss the chance. And we are also going to do a winner announcement for the giveaway campaign. So for those of you guys who just joined the campaign, you know that we run a giveaway for the beginning of the live stream, and Jeff is the winner. So he will get a free Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro. And right now, for those of you guys who are staying in this live stream, you can start to do the giveaway, the final round of giveaway. And here are the rules. So right now we're gonna do it a little bit different between versus the first round. So what we're going to do is to plug in your comment in the comment section telling me I want a Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro. I want a Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro. So if you put that comment in the section, we will select one winner who put that comment. And you can start by doing it right now. So guys, let's start by commenting. And we will select one final winner by doing a screenshot with a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And those who commented being screenshot at the first place will be the one who get a free Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro. Did you get it?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, would you like to explain again to the audience so everybody will know what it means?
Sure. So what are we saying? I want a Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro.
I want a Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro.
All right. So roll that in the comments. We'll take a screenshot at random and let's see who won. And also, I think we should thank everybody for the orders so far. I mean, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, before we start to do the screenshot, just want to say sorry, guys, at the beginning because we had some issues on the internet and connection.
Yes.
But really, really appreciate you guys for staying here. And that's why we're doing another giveaway. So, guys, get ready and start to comment in the section because we are going to do a countdown really quick in the next 10 seconds. And once we do a screenshot, the first one that is being screenshot in the comment section will be the winner for tonight's giveaway. And this will be the final giveaway, so don't miss the chance to get a free Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro. So, shall we do the countdown?
Are we ready?
And shall everybody get ready, comment in the section? Don't stop commenting because we will select the final winner. All right? Let's
Good.
count down from 10 to 1.
I thought we said 5.
Okay, let's do 5. Let's do 5.
All right, let's
right.
do it. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hit it.
Screenshot it. All right. Let's
Got
see
it?
who got the winner.
Go ahead, bring it over.
Can we see it? All right. Who is the number one? Golden Cheap. Look
Golden?
at here.
Golden chips?
Golden Chips. Guys, Golden Chips. Congratulations to the Golden Chips. I don't know who is behind the screen, but that guy must be really lucky and laughing right now.
Only one. Just
Or he loves potato chips.
Maybe that's the reason why he wins the Lawn Mower Pro.
All right.
Congratulations, Golden Chips. We will contact you and we will get you a free Lawn Mower Pro module later.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's jump to the what do you call it? the Q&A
Q&A.
section, because I'm pretty sure we have more and more questions while we're talking. So maybe let's now answer some of the questions from the audience. And
Only 10 minutes left.
oh, we only have 10 units left? Okay, 5 minutes ago we were saying there's 36 units, but now we only have 10 minutes. Guys, don't miss the chance,
Jeez.
and we will end the live stream pretty quick if they're buying
Yeah,
it.
but thank you everyone for the orders. That's honestly, when we launch new products like this, we never we obviously have our own expectations, but the fact to sell that many units in this short period of time is really cool. So thank you for the support. That's huge. And honestly, it's stuff like that keeps us going and innovating and keeps us motivated. So we really appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe let me start asking some questions, because I know today I discussed with a lot of audience from the trade show, the Spoke GAFA. They asked some really valuable questions. Maybe it can also help our audience to understand more about Yarbo.
Let's do it.
So the first one is the trimmer, because we have already announced the trimmer and did a pre-order campaign a couple months ago. When is it going to be delivered?
Sure. So this starts shipping in August.
Okay, so pretty much right now is the end of June. I can wait for 2 more months and I'll get a trimmer attachment.
Correct.
Is that the #1 autonomous trimmer, like the only one right now available in the market?
Yeah, correct. This is the only one.
Okay.
Correct. There's one other company that's working on one, but to my knowledge, they don't have a release date, and it's what I guess you would call supervised. So you have to follow it around your yard as it's trimming. But Yarbo is the only fully autonomous trimmer.
Okay. And another question, what is this new stuff? Maybe we can get a camera a little bit closer, because I can tell this is a little bit different from the old version of the tow hatch. If some of you guys can get me a tow hatch, then we can explain a little bit more features regarding the tow hatch.
Yeah, sure, the tow hitch. Yeah, so this piece right here is an add-on. It's called our BBM, or our back brace mount. Actually, here we have a version that's not attached. So when you get the trimmer, you get a back brace mount. You can also get the back brace mount and the new hitch as a separate add-on if you didn't want or need the trimmer for some reason. And this basically is like a reinforcement bracket. So this gives the back of Yarbo more structural integrity, so that we can tow things that are heavier, not necessarily heavier, but have a heavier tongue weight. That was one of the requests of a lot of our customers. And the other thing is this will actually open a ton of possibilities to allow us to attach different modules, future modules, to the back of Yarbo. So this actually is what allows Yarbo, the trimmer, to be attached to the back of Yarbo and still have the strength and rigidity it needs to support this trimmer or future modules. So that's a big deal for us.
Got it. So guys, you hear it. If you're purchasing a Yarbo lawnmower, you're not just purchasing a lawnmower, you're actually getting a modular design yard maintenance robot.
Correct.
I know it's a really long term, a lot of people won't be able to understand it at the beginning, but according to what we discussed, you get someone that's autonomously working for you and not asking you for the monthly salary or
never gets
subscription fee.
tired, never calls in sick, all those things, It just does the job. For sure. And the bigger thing with this kind of second gen core is that when we had the first version of Yarbo, as you know, it was only modular in the front. But being modular in the front and back and having the same power output in the front and the back means that in the future, when we develop more modules, we have the choice of mounting them in the front, or if we want to design one to mount in the back, we can do that. And because we have full power in the front and the back, they can be both high-powered modules in the front and the back. So that's something that's really cool.
Yeah. I just want to say the build quality of the Lawn Mower Pro and also the backside of the new back bronze mount.
Yep.
It's really nice, guys. I'm gonna hear the sound. It's very strong. It's pure metal.
Correct. Yeah. And this is all metal. So is this brace. I mean, you'll hear people say Yarbo is built like a tank, and we really do stand behind that. For sure, it's something that's very unique.
And also the cutting discs, if you're trying to hit it like that, no problem. So I'm pretty sure when it's hitting something big, it should be able to stay as usual, and it should be able to cut a lot of tough things.
Yes.
Yep. All right, guys, we are also coming to the Q&A section. So if you have some questions, let us know in the comment section. We're going to answer those, and we're preparing all the questions, so we should be able to get to those things really soon. And also maybe I have a question for the trimmer. Like for this one, I can tell it's adjusting the height from you know, a lower position, maybe like 2 inches,
Yes.
to higher 4 inches. So is this automatic, or do I have to manually adjust it by myself?
So you'll manually adjust it. It's super simple, no tools. You just press in a button and you can move it up to 4 inches, you can move it down to 3 inches, or you can move it down to 2 inches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and of course it can float out of the way if it needs to, right? So you have vertical movement and horizontal movement as well. So
Okay,
that's
is
a
this
big
strong enough? Like if somebody is standing on it, is it gonna get broken?
We
Because
don't recommend you stand on it, but this is very, very strong.
Okay.
Very strong.
Okay, that's
yeah,
nice.
So we say Yarbo can tow 500 pounds and it can pull 3,500 pounds of rolling weight. Obviously, provided it has traction. If you put the Yarbo on oil, it's just gonna slip, right? But as long as you have traction, you're good.
Okay. And for the traction, I would like to ask for someone from the north part, you know, when people where they have a lot of snow.
Yeah.
This track looks really flat. Is it going to support you when it comes to the snow part?
Absolutely not. So this is
What I'm going to do.
This is our quick release track system, right? So about 5 minutes aside, and you can switch out. Well, this is what we refer to as our turf track. It's very smooth. And you can switch that out to our snow track, which has much more aggressive lugs and also has studs that you can put into it to grip in snow and ice.
Okay,
So,
got you. All right, we have some questions from the audience, so
Okay.
maybe we can get some. Can we use the
All right,
mounting blade on the
So we already
existing
did
mower?
that. Is it any lighter? Yeah, so that one we answered. Is it any lighter than the current lawnmower module? No, I don't have the weight offhand, but it's not any lighter, no.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more heavier.
Yeah.
At least from today when I'm lifting it.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
It takes me some time to get it
It's
up.
not by much, but again, we had to reinforce the internals of it. So it also has that same tension spring in the front, so that's really important. So again, when you pull on this, you'll notice there's resistance here, and there's a little bit more resistance on this one to offset the extra weight.
Yeah, right. So next question. How much?
Where are we here?
Number 3.
Yeah, I don't know offhand. So does GPS work, and can it mow around trees and other obstacles? Yes, it can. So I don't know what they mean by does GPS work. Yes, GPS works. But we also have that major upgrade that we're working on for the visual navigation, so that if you go under really dense tree cover and you're without GPS for a period of time, it can still work and still maintain centimeter level accuracy. Can it mow around trees and other obstacles? Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, if you don't have the trimmer, you're only going to get so close to obstacles, because we can get very, very close to obstacles, but you're still going to leave a margin, right? With the trimmer, it eliminates that.
Yeah, for those of you guys who are not really familiar with Yarbo, we use RTK GPS technology for the major way of navigation, but we also have cameras. We have binocular cameras at the front and on the back.
Correct.
We also have 2 separate cameras on the left and right, so it's literally 360 degrees of the vision. That means from anywhere you're approaching Yarbo, we should be able to see it. And
Correct.
if we're navigating any obstacles or any tree coverage that has weak GPS signals, we should be able to get around with it, even if the GPS is weak.
Yeah, and again, that update is coming in the very, very near future. We're internally testing that. Same thing with tow mode, right? But we are really, really looking forward to that, because that takes away, a few of the edge cases that Yarbo, struggles with now that it'll really shine with. So.
Yeah. Next question: what's the delivery charge to UK? I think according to what we're selling right now on the official website, there's no the shipping charge is already included in the MSRP. So if you place an order right now, you actually don't need to pay any penny for the shipping. It's already included.
Is that in Europe and the US?
It's in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah. So
specifically the UK.
Specifically the UK.
Okay, got it.
So right now, if you place an order from the UK, you will get the unit, and you don't need to pay additional charges.
Got it.
I think that's also the case for people from the US, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
So if you're located in the United States, Canada, European countries like Germany, Sweden, right? Any of those countries, we don't charge shipping fees. Although Yarbo come with a huge boxes, a lot of packages, you actually need 5 packages, you know, the core unit, the lawnmower, the battery, the docking station, the accessory box, but we cover those things for you. So all you need to do is to make sure you are happy with our current features and you know what you need, right? You have a lawn that needs to be mowed. You have a place that needs to have a Yarbo Pro, a Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro to
and
cut
you know
the
what?
grass.
We should have mentioned this earlier, but the other thing that I'm very proud of as a company is that we do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy, you can return the unit. You know, so if you're saying, hey, you know, is this suitable for my type of yard? Try it out, right?
Right.
Experience Yarbo, and most people that have Yarbo, they love it. All right. So let's see. Is there a difference on the underside of the mowing deck as well, or did you just replace the discs with blades? No, there's many differences, and you know what? I'm actually guilty of saying that there wasn't a lot of differences because originally I said we upgraded the motors and we put on straight blades. And that's really half the story, right? Because the internal structure has been completely revised to be able to handle, again, once you put straight blades on and you impact something, it's a totally different ball game. So you need a structure that's going to support that. So it's much more than that. And the bottom of the deck actually is redesigned a little bit specifically for the straight blades. How does it handle areas of the yard that retain water when it rains heavy? So that retains water, as far as retains moisture, it's okay, right? You can cut in that. But if you're expecting to, mow in 6 inches of standing water, don't do it.
I would not recommend doing it.
Don't do it, right?
Maybe when we have a pool cleaner come out, you can try putting that thing with
correct,
Yarbo
maybe.
mower.
Yeah, correct. Or like a hovercraft or something, yeah.
Right.
So I have 6 acres. How many Yarbo Pros do I need to keep my grass cut on a weekly basis? So if you want to only cut weekly, you only need 1 Yarbo. That's fine.
Because we can cover 6 acres cutting
twice a week.
Twice a week, right?
Correct.
So if you're only cutting once a week, we should be able to cover more than 6 acres.
Correct. And so with the caveat that if you are cutting initially, right, and you let your lawn grow long, you might want to cut it twice in that first week before you bring it down to just 1 week, right? And it's totally up to you. I mean, you have the option either way, but you can definitely cut it once a week and still be okay. And that's the difference with the, having straight mulching blades will allow you to do that.
Yep.
Okay, so why not create, this from, I don't know if it's an existing customer, why not create a new blade attachment for the current mower? Why was a redesign of the mower made instead of it shares most of the features other than the blades? So again, although the sensors are the same and the shell looks the same, the internals are very different. So it's not just a, most of the features, although the features are similar, the structure is radically different inside, right? So, and again, we needed that for straight blades, more powerful motors. If you don't have the structure to support that, it's like having a 2-story house with a very bad foundation. That house is going to implode. So,
right, for sure.
So it's a lot more goes on under the surface than what it looks like. So.
Okay, cool. I think that's pretty much some of the major questions we get from our audience.
All right,
I think pretty much right now we have already got all the units sold out. So I would like to say really thank you guys for joining this live stream.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And actually, I just want to say too, thank you to the team because they put a ton of work into this hardware. We have our software team that's been solely focusing on software and hyper-focused on that, bringing new features to Yarbo Core, the lawnmower. All those features will be brought over to the Lawn Mower Pro as well, because from an electronic standpoint, or such a sensor suite, they are similar, right? But the team really, they innovate at a very quick pace. And if they weren't so passionate, none of this would be possible. So we really appreciate that. And our current customers and future customers for the support. we couldn't do it without them. So
Yes, yes. And for right now, just to let you guys know, we have different promotions for different price, different product.
Yep.
You can not only get a Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro module by today, but you can also check the other products. For example, the current version of the Yarbo Lawn Mower, which is the core plus the right now the current version.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to wait for another month, and you have a regular lawn that is well maintained, and there's nothing special about the grass.
yeah, if you don't
species
have
or-
these kind of unique challenges,
Right.
and you don't need the Pro, the current lawnmower is a great fit for a lot of people,
Right.
And some people would prefer that, and and to save a couple of dollars, and that's totally fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our biggest thing is giving options, and that's really whether it's the snowblower or the lawnmower or the leaf blower or the trimmer. You can design your own Yarbo to fit your own needs, right?
Yep.
That's really the big play here.
That's why by the end of the live stream, we will announce that we will lower the current version of the Yarbo Lawn Mower to the price to $42.99 for the United States.
Yeah, so let's jump out of this slide real quick.
Sorry, which page?
Next page.
The regular lawnmower.
One sec.
There you go.
So guys, no matter which one you're picking, right? If you're doing the Lawn Mower Pro, you can get it with $42.99. If you're doing the Yarbo Lawn
You
Mower,
mean the Yarbo lawnmower?
oh, I'm sorry. If
Yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
the Yarbo Lawn Mower Pro, you're doing $52.99.
Correct.
If you're getting the Yarbo Lawn Mower, you're getting it for $42.99, which is a
Correct.
really good price, and you don't need to wait.
Which used to be $5,000, right?
Yep.
So about $700 in savings. And we are constantly trying, right, as economy of scales go up and
Mm-hmm.
we sell more Yarbos and we can, get better rates on parts, and we are building out our own supply chain, so this takes time. But anytime we can offer our customers a better price, we absolutely want to do that, right? We want to get Yarbo in the hands of as many people as possible, as you know. So whenever we can offer promotions like this or adjust the prices, we absolutely will.
Yeah. So don't wait, guys. You will get the lawnmower in 3 to 8 days. So that means if you place an order today, you will literally see your lawnmower next week or even by the end of this week.
Yep.
Depends on where you are. So don't miss off the chance. And thank you for joining our live stream. We'd love to discuss with you guys again. See you next time. If we have more campaigns or more information, we will share with you.
Yeah, you
and
can
stay
check
tuned on
the
our
social
official
channels.
website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank everybody again. Thank you for bearing with us with the connectivity issues. Like I said, I don't know who gets more frustrated by that, me or you, or the audience. It's probably equal or on the same boat at times, right? But we really appreciate the support. We really do.
And also, please don't forget to follow our social media for all the information regarding future live stream, events, promotions, or product release. You can all get the information on our Instagram, YouTube, Facebook page. So please don't forget to follow it. All right?
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.